Hello and welcome back to Helluva Podcast. I'm Alex.
I'm Audie, the O is silent.
And today we are talking about seeing stars.
Seeing stars.
What?
me when I see stars. I don't know.
Yeah, we've got some intro kind of stuff to throw at you real quick before we get into talking about the episode. We actually remembered to do it at the start of the episode this time. The most recent episode of Helluva Boss that's out right now as of our recording of this is Mammon's Magnificent Musical Mid-Season Special, also known as Season 2, Episode 7. Yeah. We're saying this just so you know, like, what we're working from. If there's another episode that comes out that disproves everything we say in this episode, that's why.
Yeah, if Full Moon drops right now, honestly, we'll probably restart this to watch it, but like that's probably not gonna happen. Also, if you didn't hear our last episode, or if you forgot, or if you're stupid, we have merch.
Calling our listeners stupid, Audie.
Fucking stupid. No, you're not stupid. Give us your money and buy our stickers.
Yes.
That have our logo on them, and they're really cool and they're really cheap. Only $3.
Yep, they're really good quality.
Yeah, we're both rocking them. My mom is rocking them.
Yep.
Crazy.
We're going to be selling them at the Bennington College Craft Fair this weekend, or tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow. Yep. The day this episode comes out.
Today. And yeah, they also come with a personalized letter from us, handwritten with some little doodles, maybe. Mm-hmm. Not maybe, definitely.
Definitely. Especially, and when you're ordering, you'll have a chance to, like, add any notes to the order that you want. So if you want anything specific drawn or written, or just want to give us any information, we can boopity boop boop boop.
Yeah, you can be like, I love Stolas, and we'll draw you a Stolas, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and shipping is free if you're in the United States, and it's just, what is it, $1? $2?
I think it's $2.
$2 anywhere else, just to cover shipping costs, not because we hate you.
Yeah, just because we are shipping them, since we're writing the little notes individually, we're shipping them individually as well, like ourselves, not through a shipping company, and so it costs a lot to ship it to another country.
Yeah. Also, we have a Tumblr. I forgot I made us a Tumblr. I do not remember what the URL for that Tumblr is off the top of my head.
Is it not just at AA?
I don't remember if it's AA or if it's Helluva. What did we decide? I don't remember.
Look up Helluva Podcast and you'll find at least a post about it.
Yeah.
By us. So, we're there.
Yeah. I don't remember.
Surely we can put it in the episode description too.
Yeah. Go find it. Go looking.
Go scavenge. All right, and that's all of our business, right?
Yeah.
All right, then we're going to get into the episode.
Yeah. Okay. I can't see.
Oh, my bad.
La 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 la. Okay. We're really elegantly written first note of me. Beginning exposition is setting up something. The whole, like, lore dump that Stolas does to baby Octavia about, like, Azathoth's tears, and how, like, Azathoth created reality, and his tears could, like, wipe it out, ? Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's one of those, like, world-building-y dump things that in the moment is like, okay, yeah, that's cool, but it's probably gonna come back and be important in some capacity.
That's also similar to how I feel about, like, that for sure is definitely going to come back because it's, like, it's world building at the beginning. It's, like, huge. Yeah. And very deliberately, like, here are some facts.
Yeah.
But that's also kind of how I feel about the whole, of You'll Be Okay.
Yeah.
Like, obviously it comes back in the, in this episode because, like, Via is going to see the stars and all of that. But also the way that he's, like, whatever that line is, that's like when creation goes to die, you find me in the sky. And we just haven't talked about that.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, it's very interesting world building, I think. Also, go ahead.
Sorry, especially considering when I think we probably touched on this maybe a little bit or in one of our episodes about the circus, when Stolas gets the grimoire as a kid, and he says about how it's, like, used to see prophecies and stuff, and I don't know, he's saying all this prophetic stuff, like, when creation goes to die, not if creation goes to die.
When.
And now he's talking about Azathoth's tears and how they our Azathoth created reality and shit. It just seems like it's gonna be something. So that's exciting.
It is. Also, a little smaller note is that this sequence is from the same time frame as You'll Be Okay is. It's like how many of these little stories did Stolas tell Via all the time, which is sweet, but also like, are they the only ones that know this? Is this like common knowledge among higher, like, because I know he trains her with spells, so I don't know if she also trains her with, or like teaches her.
I mean, yeah, he probably has to in the same way that his father did to him.
Yeah, like, I think also Via doesn't go to school or anything, so I wonder if Stolas teaches her all, like, everything.
Yeah, because she's a precautionary heir.
Yeah.
But even a precautionary heir has got to be equipped with the knowledge in case her daddy dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, also by same time frame, you mean like she's like the same age, roughly?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. Also, yeah, there's sort of this comparison or connection, like Azathoth's tears, the equivalent of that to humans is a meteor shower, which I think is interesting, and like how space and astrology and stuff in the demon world and in demon lore in this universe like equates to human things.
Yeah.
And like the significance of the full moon and like the harvest moon, like
festival. It is really interesting because I don't know, it's interesting.
Yeah, I think we see a lot of it, especially because Stolas specifically, a lot of his power revolves around like astronomy and space. So maybe we're just getting like a focus on that because that's who he is, but
yeah, but it's still interesting that exists generally, like that a lot of hell and hell's like natural aspects revolve around the earth, because they could revolve around anything.
Yeah.
But it's the earth.
Yeah. And then there's also Reddit user Godzilla VK. Wait, scroll up a little bit.
Sorry.
You're good. That's Godzilla VKK, Reddit user. They translated the page of the grimoire that is shown in this scene. Like we talked about at the end of the circus, someone, it may have been the same person, I don't remember, but someone translated the book about the Asmodean crystals.
Yeah.
Someone did the same thing with the grimoire. And it says something about like the hopes and dreams of every living creature that never came to be, and like how harnessing the Azathoth's tears can wipe out reality,
which is crazy.
And then there's the question of like, what does harnessing them mean? Who could harness them? Could Stolas harness them? Is that like what he's supposed to do?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So that's
Stolas has an off button for reality.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's just interesting, and like that the detail of that like being in this book would not be thrown in for no reason. I mean, the same thing happened with the Asmodean crystals, and now we're seeing that come to fruition like in the show. So
I'm interested to see if we'll see that, or if this is just like a world building thing. But if we do see that, what does that mean? How would they show that in the show? Audie's chugging his chocolate covered strawberry frappuccino from
so fucking good.
Yeah. And he's so based for that. On a lighter note, Via's little beanie has a crown on it, which is so cute. And did I write that note? When you're emo but also royalty?
So true.
And then I personally think that Stolas got this for her, being like, I support you in your little emo phase, but also you're my princess.
Yeah. I do love the way it's like a thing that Vivzy does with like character design whenever there's a younger version of a character, like a flashback. Like when in the next episode when we'll see like baby Moxie, his little shirt has a little red bow tie on it, and it's like, I think there's something in Has Been with like when we see Charlie as a baby too. And it's, sorry, I burped a little bit. Yeah, it's just so cute though.
She doesn't have the beanie when she's a kid, does she?
Oh, I thought we were still on baby Via. My bad.
No, you're real though. No, you're good.
Yeah.
But I was just clarifying that.
Yeah.
That would be adorable though.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just a silly little note.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was. The note is more imp servants, and I was like, more imp servants than what? But this is in relation to when this was supposed to be part of the last episode.
Oh.
So there just are more imp servants present.
Yeah. Yeah. We like. I think pretty much every time we see inside the like Goetia castle, like Stolas' castle, we see at least one imp servant.
Yeah.
They're like always there, and the show is always reminding you, like, yeah, they work for them.
Yeah, and they're not always the same ones either, so it's clear that there's like a lot of them, which is off-putting.
Yeah. Also, Stolas' tongue is shaped like a heart.
Yeah.
There's just one specific frame where that's visible, and it's...
I think it's when he smiles.
Yeah. Which is so silly.
Yeah, it's so sweet, honestly. I like it.
Yeah.
Also, his eyes turn to hearts at one point, right?
Do they?
When he's calling Blitz. Are you asking me on a date,
Oh,
Blitzy?
yeah, or like hearts appear in his... I don't remember
Yeah.
exactly, but yeah, they get all heart...
Yeah, so that's very interesting to me.
Yeah. And then, when we see Stolas, like, arguing with Stella over the phone, he's very much enjoying having control over their relationship for the first time.
Yeah.
Which is, like, good for him. Obviously, like, from Via's perspective in this episode, which is what we kind of see, it's not, like, ideal for her still.
Right.
To have her parents still be arguing and shouting at each other.
And also seeing the switch in Stolas, like, she's 17. She doesn't understand, like, that this is, like, that her dad has been abused this entire time and that this is really great for him. Yeah. Like, she just sees her dad being mean and aggressive towards her mom.
He's being a cunt.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, yes, Stella.
He pants so aggressively, his eyes turned so red.
Yeah. How was I supposed to know you can spell? I've never seen you read.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
I love him.
You're gonna kill her.
Yeah. Also, the poor imp servant that he's holding.
Yeah.
So the servant's holding the phone and he's holding the servant?
I think he's holding the phone, but the servant's just dangling from the phone. I don't remember. But it's either way.
Yeah, I thought there was something with him squeezing it.
Maybe. It's been a while since I've seen this episode.
But I felt the need to write that poor imp servant, so.
Yeah. And then we see...
Hard pivot.
Yeah, hard pivot to the IMP office. We see Blitz's calendar on the wall, which is a Verosika calendar.
Just crazy.
But he's covered her face with a sticky note that has a drawing of his face on it, which I want to know, did he get this calendar, like, when they were dating, before they were dating? Probably, I'm sure not after they were dating, but like,
maybe.
But maybe just to be petty.
Yeah, just to be petty, or, like, was it gifted to him?
Yeah.
Like...
And do you think he covers her face with a different sticky note, like, every month? Like, when he
I think so, yeah. And is it always his face?
I like to think so. He also drew a bunch of horses on it, like, all over the
Which
calendar.
is really funny because the horseback riding lesson thing.
Yes. And then he's scheduled in Stolas fucking on the calendar for the full moon, but then also on Sundays.
Yes, Sunday fuck day is what it says.
Sunday fuck day.
Is that Stolas? Is that not Stolas? Is that...
Who's he fucking?
Yeah.
Is he just trying to fuck and failing? Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Is, like, what... It's funny.
Yeah. And then there's an I Heart Moxie that's crossed out. I don't remember. Does it look like it's in his handwriting? Because we were wondering who wrote it, and then probably Blitz crossed it out. But
yeah, I don't know if he wrote it or if like Millie wrote it or what.
Yeah.
But that's it's funny because it's crossed out.
Yeah.
It's just a little detail that I love.
Yeah. He also still does the horseback riding lessons according to this calendar.
Yeah.
Like the ones where he was talking about with Verosika about how he like stole her credit card and left her in a hotel and did horse riding lessons.
So did he purchase like a package of them?
Maybe he still has her credit card information.
That's hilarious.
She's still paying for them.
And then one of the horses on the calendar looks like Stolas' horse. So does he just draw these everywhere?
Yeah. Moxie is drinking out of a mug with his own face on it, which I have the Moxie mug from the Spindle Horse store, by the way. So, solidarity. And then Millie also has a mug with her face on it, and I think do they cheers their mugs or something? Yeah, because he's so fucking happy that Luna is being reprimanded even a little bit.
Yeah. And I'm wondering about the mugs. Where did they get them? Were they a gift from Blitz? Did they get them for each other or make them for each other?
Oh.
Or, did Blitz get them all for the office?
Yeah.
What? Also, it'd be really funny if they got the gifts for each other and then they just swapped to have them themselves.
Yeah, that's so funny. Also, maybe Blitz got them for the office and he used Veronica's credit card.
I hope so.
I like to think he's just swiping her card, figuratively, putting in her info everywhere all the time. Yeah, and then, but with the thing with Blitz and Luna, even though he's, reprimanding her, he's very much being, so nice and trying not to upset her.
Mm-hmm.
And he's probably overcompensating because he doesn't want to be like his dad.
Yeah.
Which is fucked up.
That is pretty fucked up. Not for him, but of a dynamic to exist.
Yeah.
And
yeah. It's very interesting, how Stolas kind of does the same thing with Via, but in a different way, where, his dad never gave him any attention, and when he did, it wasn't really great attention. Yeah. But he's just always Octavia! Hello, my owlet! Oh, let's go to Lululand!
Yeah.
Kind of overcompensating, being in her space more than any teenage girl would want their dad to be.
Right,
But,
yeah.
Yeah, they both have that, those daddy issues that come out in their parenting, and it's fucked up, but it's sweet also.
Yeah, as both now single dads, or not, I guess Stolas isn't technically a single dad, but similar.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
Also, do you want to take this one because you added a note to it?
Okay, listen. I wrote in the notes that, and keep in mind, when we first wrote these notes, we wrote them while watching, and I was notating very quickly, so I wasn't explaining every single thing. I was like, we'll know what I mean by this, but I wrote Moxie massages Blitz.
No, but I didn't write this either, so you also wrote that.
No, you wrote my name. You did write that.
Did I?
Yeah, because you saw Moxie massages Blitz and you were like, he what?
Oh,
and then
okay.
I was like, on the shoulders.
I did not remember writing that, so I thought Audie wrote in all caps, on the shoulders, Audie, as if you were talking about it to yourself.
I would do that, but no, I remember because you were like, Moxie does what? And I was like, on the shoulders. And then you added that, I think. I don't know.
But yeah, Moxie massages Blitz, a good job kind of thing, which is interesting and kind of funny.
Yeah. Also, Millie's dad sent her a cactus.
Yeah.
It says to Millie from dad on it.
Yeah, in the office, right?
In the office, yeah.
Which is so sweet.
This episode is such a hard pivot from the last one. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so, that's fun. When we first wrote this note, we had no idea what it was in reference to. We could guess, but, Blitz has framed playing cards in his office, and they're, burnt.
Yeah.
Which, it's almost like his childhood circus got set on fire or something.
Yeah, or something.
And it was kind of his fault. I don't know, or something.
Something, but they're framed, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Also, playing cards is such an interesting set of items to have from a circus. But yeah, no, and that was a note that we had, and we talked about this extensively, why are they burned? That's so weird.
Yeah.
Yep. We know now.
It was all right fucking in front of us.
Yeah, it really was.
Blitz's dartboard we may have commented on before, because it's in his office, and we've seen it a few other times, maybe.
Yeah.
But there's silhouettes of people on the dartboard, and it's really difficult to make them out, but one looks to be Barbie, and she doesn't have any darts thrown in her
Yeah, I think we were supposed to go back and look at this one.
Yeah.
To see exactly who it was.
I
but
can pull it up on my phone.
Yeah, I'll vamp.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it is important to note just that Barbie has no darts through her. Like, she's on the dartboard because Blitz is upset about her, or at her even, but not upset enough to put a dart through her, which is interesting.
Yeah. Let me pull this up. La 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 la. An ad for TurboTax. File your taxes, everyone.
File your taxes.
If you haven't already.
Or if you're of age.
Yeah. Oh my god. Here we go. Blitz's office.
Someone's blowing their nose very loud. Hopefully y'all can't hear that.
Yeah, sorry, vamped for one.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say I didn't want to move on to the next thing, but I will. While you're looking for that. On the safe in his office, the Blitz's name does not have an O on it. So we're thinking that that's a more recent item. That's not really like a huge thing, but it is interesting the ways he writes his name on different things. Because the bag we saw in an earlier episode has, I think it was Truth Seekers, has an O on it, but then the O is crossed out.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
Sorry, I had it and then it went away.
Okay. Yeah, he turned his phone. I thought he was ready, but he's not. Another thing in his office is there's a string board.
Homeboy's scheming.
Yeah, he is scheming. And then his name is also written out here, but with an O crossed out. Also, the fact that he has a string board is just funny. Like, you got it?
I got it. I cannot see anything. Okay, I see Barbie. Yeah, so there's 3 images on it. One of them definitely looks like Barbie. Maybe.
I think so, yeah.
I think so. And then
And then there's a second one with a bite out of it.
Yeah, that also doesn't have any darts in it.
And then the last one with 2 darts in it.
Good. Yeah. Let me just take a screenshot of this. It's not letting me fucking zoom. Yeah, the one with the bite out of it, I cannot make out what the fuck that is. And then that one almost looks like him.
Yeah.
Unless I'm just
or even Moxie.
Yeah, I honestly don't know what the fuck I'm looking at.
Yeah, they're black and white pictures, and they're like barely they're not able to make out.
Yeah,
they're barely things.
Yeah.
But I just think it's worth noting that there's one with a bite out of it with none, one without a bite out of it and none, and then one
that has 2 darts.
That has 2 darts in it. That looks like it's in the head of the person.
Yeah. It kind of looks like Blitz to me, but I could be crazy. Maybe it's Fizz.
Maybe.
It doesn't really look like anyone.
Yeah,
I don't know.
but it's interesting for sure that all his anger is at that one person.
Yeah.
You want to take this?
Yeah. So Octavia, to set the scene, Octavia has just taken the grimoire and transported herself to the human world after sneaking into Blitz's office, and Blitz just goes, "What the fuck am I supposed to tell Stolas?" This is right the fuck after Ozzy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, honestly, what the fuck do you tell Stolas?
That's so funny.
God, it's so funny that this episode is the only time we've seen them talk after Ozzy's.
Yeah.
Like, this is the only time we've seen them talk in season 2, in the present day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really just the power of, like, worrying about your daughters, I guess.
Yeah, I like that they had, because if they didn't have, like, if they weren't worrying about their daughters, I don't think they would have had something to bond over in this episode. Mm-hmm. And, like, I feel like having this interaction is gonna kind of change how everything else goes. But, because, like, I feel like also Stolas felt very, like he did the whole thing with Stella. Like, he's very ready to get his shit together and to cut out people who aren't serving him in his life.
Yeah. But
seeing, like, Blitz helping him find his daughter, and then also seeing, like, how Blitz treats Luna and like, is able to help Stolas in this way because he's also a dad, I feel like really changes Stolas' perspective on him and, like, the situation.
Yeah, totally. also, Blitz calls Stolas, explains the situation, and then Stolas immediately shows up at IMP in full scary demon form. Like,
Blitz!
Yeah,
This is the second time we've ever seen him in full demon form, which
Yeah.
one was saving the entirety of IMP from demon hunters on Earth.
yeah.
And the second is about his daughter.
His daughter, which so tracks for him.
Yeah.
And this just really shows that Via is everything to him, so much more important than Blitz. The fact that he's even here at all, like, after what happened at Ozzy's, is, like, important. And then he just shows up, like, fully ready to fuck shit up.
Yeah. Also, I'm wondering, like, was him going into demon form, was that even, like, something he tried to do, or is that just he was so pissed?
Yeah.
Like, he immediately went into demon form and immediately showed up.
Yeah. And of course Via thinks that the opposite about, like, Stella's
Yeah.
on her.
Why does he...
Why does he hate her, meaning Stella, more than he loves me? And then in Lululand, the whole, like, are you gonna run off with him? Leave me behind where I can't find you. She just does not think of herself as a priority in his life, when in fact everything he does
she is the priority.
He would drop everything else for her.
Yeah. And it's so sad because, like, that's a real life, like, that's something that happens.
Yeah. And it's also, like, in Western Energy, when, like, Stryker is, like, fucking him up, and, like, the only thing that gets Stolas, like, that hits a nerve is when Stryker brings up Octavia, and then he's like, don't you breathe a word about my daughter. And it's like, oh, I see. That's where your priorities lie. And it's fucked up.
It's fucked up.
It's fucked up. I would have loved to see Via's reaction to Western Energy.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that we haven't gotten really any follow-up on that is
we don't know how long he was in the hospital. We don't know, like, what that looked like. And also, if he was in the hospital a while and, like, Via wasn't visiting him or anything and was just with Stella, how did that change her perspective on everything?
Yeah.
Like, what did Stella tell her? Like, why?
Yeah. Like, because obviously Stella wasn't like, oh yeah, I ordered a hit man
Yeah.
your dad, so, like, what did she tell her?
Right.
God. Maybe even, like, made it about Blitz somehow. So
I'm sure, yeah. And then also, pretty hard pivot, but still to where Stola's showing up. When he shows up, Moxie is shaking and then hides behind Blitz.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting. And I know that, like, as an archetype, Moxie is meant to be, like, the scared one at all times.
Yeah.
But also it's interesting because, like, Blitz looks upset and like guilty, but not, like, maybe a little scared, but not, like, super scared or petrified or anything.
Yeah.
Millie pretty unfazed.
Yeah.
But Moxie's reaction, I don't know. I think it's just telling.
Yeah. And next episode.
Yeah.
Fat jokes, boo, boo, no fat jokes, boo. I don't even remember what it fucking was. Oh, yes I do. They, like, cross into Earth, and then Luna is, like, saying something about Moxie, and Blitz is like, yeah, you could stand to lose a few pounds. Like, it's like,
which, the
it's
whole
so
fat joke
stupid.
thing, first of all, stupid. Second of all, boo, Vivsy, stop. Stop it. But anyway, it doesn't make sense, especially because we see, this is later, but we see Blitz's reaction to Fizz being fat shamed, who's also obviously not fat, by fucking Mammon.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? And is, like, so upset about it.
Yeah.
But he eggs Moxie on. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's like the whole, like, the thing with Moxie and Luna, like, I feel like the joke is meant to be that he's, like, genuinely not fat, so it's like that's meant to be the joke, which also, maybe, like, Vivsy, we say Vivsy, but, like, you know, the writers, whoever, maybe they're justifying it by, like, oh, well, he's not actually fat, we're not actually making fun of fat people, but that's not, you're still
and
making
also,
it out like being fat is a bad thing.
If it was, like, that thing, and then, like, Moxie was playing along and whatever, and, like, it's, like, that would be one thing, but it's Moxie being like, stop, I'm not fat.
Yeah.
Like, they're literally gaslighting him.
Yeah.
Which is, like, that's not funny.
It's not funny. And yeah, and then it's just, you can't do that and then also have, like, Blitz be upset and
Yeah.
angry about
I think the big
this.
thing is you can't do that and then try to have a commentary on body image and fat shaming in the acting industry.
Yeah.
You can't do both.
You can't do both. And you shouldn't even do the first one.
Yeah.
But you definitely cannot do both. Your
No.
message is not getting across.
No.
Yeah.
Do you want to take this bullet point just says Via with a bunch of hearts?
Listen, Octavia is just like me for real. Is it solely because my parents are divorcing? Maybe. Not solely, but largely. No, she's such a silly little gal. She's 17 years old and she's going to Earth by herself and she has no fucking idea what she's doing.
Yeah.
But
the note says stupid, clueless, rebellious teenager who is upset about her parents getting divorced. And then after it says there's a reason Audie kins her and you came in the notes.
I wrote, hey, in all caps, because like, what the fuck, but you're so right. It's so me. Yeah, I love her so much. I want to see more of her, and I'd love to see more of her where, like, you know, her entire character isn't about her relationship with her dad.
Yeah.
I'd love even just seeing what her dynamic with Stella is like would be so interesting.
I know we see a little bit of Via and Luna in this episode, but I'd love to see more. I'd love to see, like, a little friendship there.
Yeah, like a proper bond that doesn't have everything to do with their dads and bonding over their daddy issues, because that's, again, if it was like a one-off thing in this show, it's every single female character, their personality revolves around a man in some way, and it's not fun.
Yeah, I want to see a conversation between I was gonna say between Luna and Via, but honestly between any two women that passes the Bechdel test would be cool.
Yeah. Freaking the fact that Luna and Millie never fucking talk.
Yeah.
They work together.
And they had that little thing in Truth Seekers. Like, they should have had, like, that should have been a bonding moment and they should be closer now. Like, that's how that should have happened.
That's how that should have happened. It's so fucking stupid. Yeah. Anyway. But kind of going back to the fat jokes a little bit, but just broadening it a bit. There's been this, like, weird feud between Moxie and Luna since the start of the show. Like, the fat jokes and just generally arguing and not getting along. And there's never, like, a reason given for it. And I'm curious, like, if there is a reason or if they just don't get along. And then if that's going to be resolved or if it's meant to be comedic relief.
Yeah.
Because it's not really funny.
funny.
Even, like, other than the fat jokes. Like, I just don't care. It's not very interesting, I don't think.
I think also, like, there's a few things I can think of, because, like, there's the whole thing, too, where, like, Blitz really cares about, like, I think the two of them out of the group.
Yeah.
I think Millie a little more now, but at least at the start of the show is definitely, like, Moxie and Luna were, like, his two people. And so I feel like maybe there's, like, not even necessarily from Moxie's part, but I wonder if there's any jealousy there from Luna.
Yeah.
Or if it's just, like, they're both trying to be the best and have control, or, like, even... But even at a bare bones, I think it just could be that Moxie is meant to be, like, the, like, shy and innocent and, like infantilized, I guess, character.
Yeah.
And Luna's meant to be the opposite.
Yeah. They just clash, but there's never... I don't know. It's silly. And then there's... so in the background when, like, they all get to Earth, there's a poster in the background that says, "Public health warning. New study finds LA water to be 2% sewer overflow and 98% literal acid. No, obviously don't drink that shit," top scientists say, which is foreshadowing when Stolas throws the water bottle later and everything just, like, catches on fire and goes to shit. I just love... It's so BoJack Horseman, just the little animation details that, like, could go unnoticed so easily, but it's like otherwise that scene makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like he throws a water bottle and it's like, oh, okay, all hell has broken loose for some reason.
Yeah,
so
but
silly.
with this detail it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Also, it's so funny, like, the Spindlehorse team fucking hates LA, and it's so clear.
Yes.
Between, like, what was it,
Just this episode is
the Spring Broken too, though.
Oh, was that in LA?
I think so. Was it not?
I don't know if it was specified. Maybe it was. I don't know.
But either way, like, this episode even is just, like, shitting on LA the entire time, which is so funny.
So BoJack
Horseman. I need to know what Vivzy and, like, the team's relationship with BoJack Horseman is. Yeah. Because Vivzy has, like, retweeted BoJack stuff, so I know that they're a fan of it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's interesting to me. There's a lot of similarities.
There is a... I think it's on Vivzy's, like, wiki page. There's, like, a trivia where it says, like, different shows that she's claimed to have been inspired by, and Invader Zim is on there, which is so funny. But I don't remember if BoJack is, but it, like, so clearly must be.
Yeah. Also, Invader Zim makes a lot of sense, especially because of the, like, Cartoon After Hours series. Yes. Like, there's a whole episode on Invader Zim. And then also... that's so cool, like, loving Invader Zim and then getting Invader Zim himself on your show. Like, I know we've said that a million times, but that's so cool.
Richard fucking Horvitz, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. Also, this is maybe the most important note that we have. Stolas' human form is fucking ugly. He's a ugly-ass twink, and I don't care for it.
He's a nice twink when he's an owl, but...
yeah, he's a lovely little twinky owl when he's an owl, but now he's just an ugly-ass man.
Real.
That's just a guy. He could have... and he's supposed to be attractive. That's what gets me.
Yeah, especially because Blitz is, like, humming at the human form, which is, like...
yeah, his eyes, like, widen a little bit, and he gets, like... yeah, but it's... I think people in the fan base like his human form.
Yeah, people in the fan base love both him and Luna's human forms, and I don't...
Luna's is...
It's fine.
It's fine. It's... I don't care for it.
Yeah.
This one pisses me off.
Real.
He's ugly, but he's not intended to be ugly, and it's annoying. Real
as hell. Stolas also, when they first get into, like, the city area, he first of all just steals a pair of red glasses to substitute his second eye, so he puts them, like, on his head. Yeah. And it's so cute.
Like,
but yeah, he stole and no one noticed, and also he probably doesn't understand that he stole.
Yeah, because, like, I mean, one, he's royalty, he has everything handed to him all the time. Two, human world might work different from hell. And three, I don't know, does he ever do his own fucking shopping?
Yeah, I was gonna say, does he do his own shopping? And also, like, if he goes shopping, he probably doesn't pay for things. He probably just takes them, and then either in hell, like, people are just like, okay, he's a Goetia or whatever.
Yeah.
Or an imp is walking behind him and pays for it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, yeah, and then the blissful ignorance Stolas TM.
Yeah. The whole, like, B plot or C plot even of this episode with Eminem, Moxie wanting to buy all of the fucking street vendor stuff.
He's such a patron of the arts.
He supports small local artists.
Yeah.
But I love when he's trying to buy the guy's, like, demo.
Not even trying to buy, or like, no, the guy's like, here, take this.
Yeah, he's trying to take the guy's demo, and then the guy is like, what? You're just gonna walk away with it? And then Millie goes, he said thank you!
Yeah!
He asked for no pickles energy.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's so fucking funny.
He said thank you.
Yeah. Also, a little timeline note is that when he, like, runs after the quarter in the street, it's a 2021 coin, which, just for timeline purposes, like, especially, I don't know when this episode came out, although I probably still have it open so I can check, but timeline wise, this is more or less present day, like the show is set.
Yes.
So that's cool.
It's not, like, super futuristic, it's either, like, a little past completely current or a little ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, this episode came out in 2022, but when they would have been doing, like, the animation and stuff, it probably was 2021, so...
Yeah, and also a 2021 coin in 2022 makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's more or less present day.
Yeah. It's just generally, this whole dynamic is so cute and funny.
Yeah, it's so silly.
They sing for money.
Yeah.
And, like, the way that Millie is trying to be so nice and gentle with Moxie and, like, just putting up with his bullshit, and then at the very end is just, like, throws everything they've worked for and throws him in. She's like, fuck this, you're not taking any of this.
Funny. Also, Stola's getting grabbed by the guard dude or whoever, the security guy,
Yeah.
and he just goes, "Oh, you are strong," like
Yeah.
the faggot that he is.
Like, hello?
Yeah, gay as fucking bird.
Yeah. Dads will just love their daughters is the next note.
Yeah, wee. Yeah. This episode's all fucking over the place.
It is. Our notes do not have any transitions.
No.
Because the next one is Blitz's favorite performing.
Yeah, I haven't performed since what though? The circus,
Yeah.
or something after that, like his solo show that we have
Yeah,
seen
I don't know.
You tried the solo act and it didn't work out so well.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah. Ugh.
And yeah, I think, and even if it is the circus though, we didn't know that at this point.
Yeah.
Like we'd seen obviously the episode of the circus and saw that he was in the circus, so like it's possible, but we hadn't seen any of the stuff with Fizz yet.
Yeah.
And like we didn't know about the fire. So it's like, yeah. I wonder what it is, and then also like just dropping that in there timeline wise is so interesting.
Yeah. Bro parentheses Blitz literally lights up to praise.
Yeah.
Like when he's doing the sitcom and he literally just, well, he doesn't know that the audience has like a laugh cue, so
Yeah.
first he reads the teleprompter and then he like starts making up his own jokes, but they all still keep laughing because they're told to, but
Yeah.
he doesn't know that, and he just literally lights up.
Yeah.
Like the animation of his expression changing is fucking insane. Homeboy has been criticized so much and praised so little.
Yeah, that's what the note is. I mean, it's true, yeah.
Yeah. Also, we just made a note, because I think we've talked about whether or not Blitz can read, or, like, what his literacy levels are before. But he is reading the teleprompter, at least for a little bit. Then he goes off script, but he can read. So
he's
something.
not at least completely illiterate.
Yeah.
And he can write, too. He's just really bad at spelling and stuff.
But also, is he bad at spelling, like, genuinely? Because there's also in, Western Energy, when he's at the vet with Luna, and he goes, like, MOTHER, fuckers, and, like, he spells out, like, 3 different curse words, so...
Well, I mean, also, those are pretty easy to spell words.
Yeah, but he misspells a lot of words that are also easy to spell.
That's true.
So it's like, is it...
I mean, he misspells in texting a lot, and I think that's just him.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of other stuff that, like, I feel like is probably...
Yeah.
Because, like, bigger words.
Maybe it's a stylistic choice.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe he doesn't care to spell them right. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's an in-continuity thing.
Yeah.
Also, Stola's being the only one who laughs at his jokes, like, the jokes that Blitz is actually coming up with. It's just like when they were kids and they first saw, or Stolas first saw him at the circus, and he, like, says the thing about, like, horse's legs not working, and Stolas is like, oh, and he does the same thing here, and it's like, oh, literally the one episode later, and the parallels, and it's like, oh, it's so cute.
That's like the parallel between this and that is similar to the parallel between, like, my first ever friend.
Yeah.
It's like, the fucking, not soulmate, but yeah.
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 And then Blitz does finger guns at Stolas, which is just such a dorky gay thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah, these notes are all over the place. We should have separated, like, Via and then Blitz and Stolas, but we're gonna get crazy with it.
We're just gonna go back and forth. We're almost done already, which is crazy.
So the next one we have is Via's Instagram bio being sad depressed.
Just sad depressed.
First of all, I don't think there's like periods or anything. It's sad depressed as if it's one thing, which is funny.
Yeah.
And also, like, is she actually, like, is that really, like, all that like, is she that sad and depressed?
Yeah.
And, like, the mental illness gene from Stolas.
Yeah.
Does Stolas know how she's feeling? I doubt it. I'm sure he would be helping her.
Yeah.
And is it also, like, is she sad and depressed for, like, has she been for a while, or is it just because of the divorce, or, like, yeah. And she doesn't have any friends, I think we've noticed, so, like, does she have anybody that she talks to about this kind of stuff? And who follows her Instagram? Like, is it just the public?
Yeah.
Like, just following this and being concerned but not saying anything?
Right.
Or not being concerned at all?
Because she's royalty.
Right.
So,
So they're like, what do you have to be sad about?
Yeah.
Like...
I also, can you scroll up? I don't remember what I was going to say. Oh, Yeah, it's such a wildly different media to make this comparison. But there's an episode of One Day at a Time, the like more recent, like the reboot, where freaking Penelope, the mom, is like dealing with her anxiety and stuff, and she like hates that she has to deal with it, and she's like trying to like figure out some coping strategies because it's been getting worse. And then we see that her daughter Elena is also experiencing like anxiety symptoms, and then the mom is like, how has this happened before? And she's like, yeah, I thought I was going crazy. And then it's like the mom, because the mom's never like sat down and been like, I have anxiety, you might have it too, and they have that little moment, and just such a crazy comparison.
Yeah, but, like, no, you're right.
Stolas and Stella, and not Stella, my god, Stolas and Octavia, like, if he, like, sat her down and talked to her about, like, mental illness and stuff, it'd be so...
Yeah, I don't even know, I don't think we're gonna get that in show, but if we could have, like, one sentence, that'd be huge. Yeah.
It's not fully out of the question, I don't think.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Stolas is canonically mentally ill and taking happy pills.
Yeah. Like, I think also it could be like maybe like they have a fight and then Via like drops something. Stolas is like, what?
Yeah.
It's like, wait.
Yeah. Wait. No. My daughter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, especially because him just like continuously trying to hide like the bad parts of his life from her.
Yeah.
And if that culminates in something,
I could also imagine, like, Stolas being like, my Owlette, I didn't know you were feeling this way.
Yeah.
Like, I had no idea. I'm so sorry. Like,
wow. Especially if it has been since before the divorce. Because he's just like, I know, like, the divorce has been hard. And then she's like, well, it's not just that. This is just kind of how I am. And it's...
And if Via doesn't know that it's different than what other people feel... Well, she must, because she says sad and depressed in her bio.
Yeah.
But, like, does she think that every, like, majority of teenagers feel that way?
Yeah.
Like... She doesn't have any context for it, so she might think it's normal.
Minimizing her own feelings.
Yeah.
Or the vice versa, she just thinks she's, like, losing her mind and is crazy and, like, thinks something's wrong with her. God. I can't do mentally ill kids.
No, can't do it.
Yeah. Hard pivot. The transition in this episode, like, animation-wise, fucking amazing. They're so cool. It's such a fun, like, montage of, like, Luna looking for Octavia and just going all around LA and stuff. It's so fun. It's so cool.
It is. And then next we have the Blitz and Luna thing, which I have so much to say about this.
Yeah, go for it.
So, just some timeline notes. Blitz adopts Luna pre-prison when he meets Moxie, but post-circus. Yes. So it's in that little chunk of time.
Yeah.
He says that he needs something more family friendly. And like the person goes, for the wife. But is it for IMP? Is it just for himself? And that also makes us think, did IMP exist before the prison?
Yeah.
Like, why did he originally go to the pound is the question. Like, did he need a companion?
But was he looking to, like, adopt a child? Was he looking for someone to work at... what was he looking for?
I don't know, and it's really not clear.
Yeah.
And then this is the part that makes me crazy, is... So Blitz was around Luna's age, almost an adult, or like just an adult, we don't know for sure, when the circus fire happened and he lost everybody. And so then when he saw Luna at the pound, who's gonna age out and have nobody, he immediately was like, I'm gonna take her in.
Yeah.
And like, I think that explains a lot of the relationship between him and Luna. Like, he is going... Like, she could do the worst thing ever, and he is going to love her unconditionally because that's what he was missing. Like, he really thought that like, obviously it wasn't even, like it was an accident, the fire, but he did and still does blame himself for it, and he had nobody to tell him that that wasn't the case, and he still doesn't. But he had no one with him, and so even if she were to do something that bad... he would still stick by her because that's what he needed.
Yeah. And going back to, like, how him and Stolas kind of mirror each other as, like, dads. Like, just, like, Stolas had every reason to hate Octavia when she was born, because, like, he was forced into this marriage that he didn't want, forced to have a kid against his will, like, just because of his status as royalty. And he had every reason to, like, resent her for that, but instead he just chose to love her so much.
Yeah.
And it's really similar with Blitz and Luna, because, like, she's kind of giving her what he never had the chance to have.
Right.
But he never, like, uses that against her. He's never like, I didn't have, you should be grateful that I adopted you. He never does that. And she's like, I didn't need you to adopt me. Like, I was almost 18, didn't need you. And he never, he doesn't use it against her. He just chooses to love her and, like, be what she needs, even though he didn't have the same thing.
And he also doesn't try to correct her with things like that. Like, a lot of times, even if people don't use it against them, they'll be like, yes, I understand, but also, like, that's not true. Yeah. But he doesn't do that because he understands, like, that was his thought process then, too. Like, he probably was like, I don't need anyone. I don't
need you. I could do this shit on my own so easily. Yeah.
But also, the, like, not only not needing anyone, but also feeling like he can't be near anyone. Like, that he's going to hurt everyone.
Yeah.
Like, so that double-edged sword there.
Yeah. Equally upsetting. Luna's trauma response to the kid in the pound threatening her.
Yeah, she's, like, really angry and, like, not tries to attack him, but, like, very on edge almost.
Yeah.
And then starts crying.
Yeah.
Like, huddles in on herself. It's so sad.
Did we make note? I saw someone else on the internet. I don't remember who. But, like, someone said about in Western Energy, when she's at the vet, like, the reason she's probably so afraid of the, like, needles and stuff probably comes from her trauma at the pound. Like, either, like, I don't know, needing shots then, or, like, or whatever happened.
Yeah, I've also, I have the little theory of, like, she probably saw a lot of dogs get put down at the pound.
Yes, that's what it was. That's what it was, yeah.
So, like, the needle, like, she's going to the vet, and that's a medical setting, and, like, is that the only context she's seen a needle? Because she probably didn't get that kind of shot at the pound. And, like, she is going, and she probably does trust Blitz somewhat. So she's probably, like, deep down knows, like, I'm just getting a shot. But also, like, did she see the other dogs get told that they were just getting a shot? Like, I don't know how much these dogs were treated like humans treat dogs. But, like, that's entirely possible.
Yeah. Again, similar to BoJack Horseman, the ethics of, like, the coexistence of the animals and humans is, like it, I don't, like, in BoJack, like, the humans and animals, like, fuck each other, because, you know, they're sentient, consent-giving animal, you know, like, they're people, but also they are still animals, and that's interesting in Helluva and stuff, because the Hellhounds, like, they're just, like, another species, but, like, sentient and human-like, but also they're of lower status, so they're animalistic in the normal sense, but also, like, animalistic in the sense that they're less respected and not treated humanely.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting.
It is really interesting. Especially also, there's the person showing Blitz around the pound is a hellhound.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's interesting.
It's like in Animal Crossing when you have a pet hamster in your house, and then, like, fucking Hamlet walks into your house, and it's like, oh, this is awkward.
Yeah. But also, like, so what, like, is this meant to be a pound, or is this meant to be an orphanage? Like, it's really both.
It's really both, and it's so odd.
Yeah, it's very off-putting.
Yeah.
Hard pivot.
Hard pivot. Stolas does the gayest water bottle throw anyone has ever done, ever.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so surprised it made it to the stage, honestly.
Honestly, yeah. He's lucky that it caught on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then another hard pivot to Luna and Via and their, like, conversation. Luna gets back into wolf form to talk to Via so that she's, like, a familiar face, which is risky. I mean, it doesn't look like there's anyone around, but also they're still on Earth. Like, it's risky for her to be getting into her normal form.
Yeah, and, like, Luna, I think, enjoys being in her human form. Like, she always goes right into it right when they get to Earth, or at least, like, feels more comfortable being on Earth with it. Yeah. But the fact that she does it, like, not only thinks to do it so that Via will feel more comfortable, but then actually does it is so sweet.
Yeah. Luna does love Blitz, even though she doesn't often make it clear. Yeah. And appreciates how he cares about her. And she's, like, playing with the IMP lighter throughout this scene, and it's very, like, symbolic and, like, correlates to the things that she's saying. First, she's talking and she's trying to light her cigarette, and she can't get the lighter to work at all. And then, like, Via lights it for her with her magic. Yeah. And then Luna says, like, try to cut your dad some slack. He may not always get it right. And then the lighter flickers. Yeah. But he's trying. And then the lighter fully works, and we see the IMP logo on it. And Blitz probably gave it to her. And it's just, oh!
Yeah. Makes me fucking crazy.
Yeah. That note I added, if you want to read it.
Crazy. You're crazy.
Yeah.
The note says, LOL, do you think Blitz gave Luna his lighter because he didn't trust himself with it / didn't want to have it after what happened at the circus?
LOL. It crossed my mind.
No, like, you're right, but why would you say that? No, I want to know Blitz's, like, fire trauma. Yeah. I also... Blitz's reaction to Lululand. Like, how... Like, that wasn't only he set a fire. Yeah. That was he set a fire and blew up another fizz.
Yes.
Like...
He in the moment, he was, like, worth it, and then he probably went home and cried.
Yeah, like, did he cry? Like what... Yeah. What was his reaction to it? He also was, like... Yeah, there was, like, the thing at the end where he was like, oh my god. But I also, like... I need to know what his reaction was afterward. Like, did he go home and, like, have a 3-day-long breakdown? Like, what... Yeah, crazy. Yeah.
Honestly, Luna probably knows so much more than she lets on just from living with him.
Yeah.
And, like, after Lululand, she's like, alright, Blitz is crying, and he'd set fire to his old slutty robot friend or something. Alright, jot that down in the mental log.
Yeah, also, Blitz probably doesn't tell her anything, so she's, like, just trying to take note, but is like, slutty clown friend? Wait.
Yeah, which one? Yeah. Yeah, and our last real thing is that Luna and Via have this, like, older sister, younger sister dynamic. I know some people ship them.
Which is crazy. I've seen a lot of, like, people that, like, write stories or make fan art about Blitz and Stolas being married, and then Stella, I did it too, Luna and Via being stepsisters. Yeah. And, like, I like that. I don't know if they are really, like, I don't know how they would drive being actual stepsisters. Yeah. But
they definitely have a sisterly dynamic.
Yeah, it's definitely not romantic. Yeah. And a lot of people get the romantic vibe from this scene in particular, and I don't get it. It's literally them talking about dads.
Yeah, and, like, also the age-wise, like, it's not that many years, but it's a vast difference in maturity. Like, Via is 17 years old, Luna is, like, 22. That is incredibly different. Yeah. Like, sometimes context is important for those kinds of things, but also it's just
also there's the thing where they're both, like, a little immature, so people are like, oh, but first of all, they're both immature, so it's not like Via is very mature and then Luna's immature. Exactly. And then, second of all, they're immature in opposite ways. Yeah. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it just does not feel right. That is not the vibe I get at all.
No, and it makes me feel icky.
I don't like it.
I also think that people shipping Via with anyone makes me feel icky because there's not anyone of her age in the show.
There's no one. I also I don't know. I could see her being Ace or Arrow.
Oh
personally.
yeah, 100%.
But that's just personal. But yeah. I hope we get more of them being all sisterly and being friends and stuff, and like Luna being like, "Come on, let me get you out of the house," and they like go shopping together.
Yeah, that'd be really sweet.
Yeah.
I have seen a lot of people saying that Via is Ace online. I don't know if that's canon by any means.
I feel like I've seen that too.
But I've seen it a lot.
Yeah. Maybe Word of God canon because it's not in the show, but
yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We should look into that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love their dynamic, and I want, like I said in the beginning of the episode, I want more of them.
Yeah.
I want a conversation that's not based on men.
Yeah, I want them to just hang out. Maybe.
Sorry, go ahead.
Maybe in Full Moon, like Blitz and Stolas are having like a really emotional conversation that just cuts to Luna and Via like hanging out, getting ice cream.
Yeah. Blitz is like, "Hey Luna, hey Looney, can you take Via out?"
Yeah, I need to talk to Stolas.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
But also, no, I had something, but I forgot it.
No.
What if Via tells Luna about how she's feeling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
About being all sad and depressed. Yeah.
Or she, like, says something and Luna's like, "Wait,
Hang
same,
on.
but hold on."
Yeah, hang on, backtrack, girly. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
All right, our last note of the whole episode.
Yeah.
The O in the end of this episode's credits is crossed out in Blitz's name. Was it crossed out in the circus, or is this the first time?
I don't remember. I think was Queen Bee the first time?
Yes, but that was released later.
It was released later. But like chronologically in terms of like episode timeline, that was the first.
Yes.
But so I'm pretty sure the circus also was.
Okay. Which is just interesting.
Yeah.
Because even if they just did it in season 2, like having Queen Bee is particularly interesting. Like, does that show a shifting character?
Yeah. Which I mean, yeah.
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 Especially like.
Sorry.
No, you're good. He, like, in Queen Bee goes to the party and everything, and like is that guy, and then steps out of that role.
Yeah.
And so crossing the O out, like, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway, did we have any, or were you gonna say something?
I was gonna end the episode.
Okay, cool. Did we have any business?
The merch. Go to our Instagram at AA Discussions. Follow it if you haven't already, because literally everything is there.
Everything is there.
And in the link tree in our bio, you'll find a link to where you can buy our merch. It's super cheap. It's super cool. It's super sexy. And we'll mail it out to you with a personalized note, and it'll be great. Also join our newsletter. That's also in our link tree. We'll send you an email on the 1st of every month where we'll be like, hey, this is what we did last month and this is what we're doing next month, and you get the inside scoop. And that's really cool. And that's free, and you can unsubscribe anytime. So you should might as well subscribe.
Yeah, and we only send out one email a month. We're not gonna spam you.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, that's all.
That's all we got.
Helluva Q&A. We did not think of one because we're bad. But there will be one, on the thing.
Yeah.
So make sure you respond to it. Also, if you have any questions for us that are show or not show related, go to, I think, 2 weeks ago, our Helluva Q&A, asking about a Q&A episode, and go leave your stuff there. It's open for a while. We're trying to accumulate more questions so we can have a full-length episode with Q&A stuff. So, yeah. Go do that. You can also message us on Instagram with questions if you would prefer that.
Yes.
That's all.
That's all.
Have a great 2 weeks, everyone. We will see you then.
For X's and O's.
Oh, God. We might see you then and the other episode, because that one's crazy.
We'll see you when we see you.
Yeah, and we'll say things when we say things.
Yes. Stay sexy.
I didn't cut you off that time. That was great.